Imagine a world lit only by candlelight, where the boundaries of human imagination were yet to be drawn. 500 years ago, one man stood at the crossroads of art and science, his mind a whirlwind of brilliance that defied his time. His name was Leonardo da Vinci, a painter whose brush captured eternity, a dreamer whose sketches reached for the stars. Welcome to Epochs of Genius, a channel dedicated to uncovering the brilliance that shaped our world. Today, we step into the shadows of the Renaissance to explore the hidden genius of Leonardo, a man who saw no divide between the canvas and the cosmos. Let's begin. Close your eyes for a moment and picture this: a cluttered studio in the heart of Renaissance Italy. The air smells of oil paint and aged parchment. Flickering candlelight dances across wooden beams, illuminating a table strewn with tools, brushes worn from use, jars of pigment ground from earth and stone, and beside them, something unexpected: pages filled with intricate drawings of wings, gears, and the sinews of the human body. This was Leonardo's world, a sanctuary of creation where art and science didn't just coexist, they intertwined. He wasn't content to simply paint what he saw. No, Leonardo hungered to understand the why and the how. He'd spend hours dissecting the wings of bats and birds, sketching their bones with the precision of a surgeon. Why? Because he dreamed of flight, not as a fantasy, but as a reality he could engineer. His notebooks, thousands of pages preserved through time, reveal a mind that leapt from the delicate curve of a feather to the mechanics of a flying machine. In this dusty room, surrounded by the tools of both artist and inventor, Leonardo was more than a painter. He was a visionary, a pioneer whose curiosity knew no limits. Now let's turn to one of his most famous creations, the Mona Lisa. She hangs in the Louvre today, her enigmatic smile drawing millions. But what if I told you that behind that smile lies more than just beauty? It's a masterpiece woven with science. Step closer, and you'll see it. The way her eyes seem to follow you, a trick of light and shadow that Leonardo perfected through years of study. He didn't guess at this effect. He calculated it, observing how light bends and scatters across surfaces. But there's more. Look at her face. The proportions are uncanny, almost too perfect. That's because Leonardo applied geometry to her form, using ratios and angles he'd learned from mathematicians like Euclid and Vitruvius. He sketched grids over faces, measured the distance between eyes and lips, and turned portraiture into a science. And then there's the background, those winding paths and misty hills. They're not random. They're a study in perspective, a technique he helped refine, making distant objects fade into a haze of blue. The Mona Lisa isn't just art. It's a laboratory on canvas, where every brushstroke hides a discovery. Leonardo didn't paint to please, he painted to understand, and in doing so, he gave us a window into his mind. But Leonardo's genius soared highest, quite literally, in his pursuit of flight. Picture him now, standing in a wind-swept field, his eyes fixed on a flock of birds wheeling overhead. He'd watch them for hours, sketching their wings in motion, noting how they tilted against the breeze. His notebooks are filled with these observations, page after page of feathers, joints, and muscles, each line drawn with the care of a scientist and the flair of an artist. From these studies came his wildest dreams, machines that could lift man into the sky. One sketch shows a wooden frame with bat-like wings, a contraption he called an ornithopter. Another details a parachute, its canopy billowing like a cloud. He even imagined a helicopter of sorts, with a spiral blade meant to spin through the air. Did he build them? Not quite. The materials of his time couldn't match his vision. But he tested ideas, built small models, and calculated weights and forces with a rigor that feels modern. His art captured the grace of flight. His science dared to make it real. Centuries later, when the Wright brothers took to the skies, they stood on the shoulders of a man who'd seen it all in his mind's eye first. So what do we make of Leonardo da Vinci? He was no ordinary artist, no typical inventor. He was a bridge between two worlds, a man who refused to choose between the beauty of a painting and the logic of a blueprint. His legacy isn't just in the Mona Lisa or his flying machines, it's in the way he thought. Every sketch, every stroke, whispers a truth. Creativity and curiosity are one and the same. Today, his works inspire artists to dream bigger and scientists to see beauty in their equations. Leonardo didn't just live in the Renaissance, he defined it, and through him we glimpse the boundless potential of the human spirit. Leonardo da Vinci painted the stars and reached for them too. His story is just the beginning. What other geniuses lie hidden in the folds of history? Subscribe to Epochs of Genius to journey with us through the epochs that shaped our world. The past has more secrets to share. Let's uncover them together.